Hello and welcome back. So to kick off the end of the year, you can see I got a Disney Villains shirt, which thanks to my sister, very nice Christmas present. And so yeah, we're gonna discuss. I'm here to discuss Disney. So I grew up with Disney movies since I was a kid, and the Disney cartoons like the classic Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, and all of them. So yeah, I mean my favorite stuff as a kid was Disney. I always grew up watching it. Watched it a lot as a kid, and as I've even progressed teenager and adult, I still love Disney. I mean, to me, it just never gets old. I've always loved it, always will continue to love it. So, yeah, favorite Disney characters, boy, there's a big list of Disney characters I love. And even, yeah, I mean, I could go on and on with the list, but hard to say, really. What my favorite ones are. Don't really have too many least favorites, so I'll leave that alone. But favorite Disney villains. Let's see, my top five. Boy, let's see. I mean, number one for me, I would say Scar from The Lion King. I mean, Jeremy Irons' voice is just so top notched. I mean, this was the right voice actor for him. And this was the one thing I disliked about the live action remake was they did not bring Jeremy Irons back. You brought James Earl Jones back for Mufasa, but you didn't even bother to try Jeremy Irons for Scar. I mean, to me, that's just a slap in the face. So uncalled for. So to me, Jeremy Irons is Scar in my book. So yeah. And he has one of the best villain songs. He has the best villain song in my book. Be prepared. So I mean, I could just go on and on. I mean, that song is just so memorable. It sticks with you. That's what I call a good villain song right there. Next villain on the list for me, I mean, this gets harder and harder. I mean, I'd say Cruella de Vil would be my number two. I mean, again, good song for her, Cruella de Vil. And this is one I've liked the animated one and even the live action one. I mean, she is well portrayed, whether it's by the original voice actress and or by Glenn Close or even Emma Stone. I really like Cruella de Vil. So yes, and her plot of wanting to kidnap the puppies to make skin coats. I mean, that's simple, but yet it works for a villain. So absolutely. So yeah, Cruella de Vil, number two. Number three, Maleficent. I mean, so iconic. And this is my sister's favorite villain, probably, just because Sleeping Beauty was her favorite as a kid, still is to this day. So yeah, but Maleficent is so menacing and so anything to stop Princess Aurora. So yeah, absolutely, absolutely well done there. I even liked Angelina Jolie's performance as Maleficent as well. So well portrayed, whether animated or live action. I have no issues at all with Maleficent at all. Now we get to the next one. Number four for me, I'm gonna have to go with. I mean, Gaston to me. I like how he's all about himself. Look at me, how strong I am. I mean that no one been like Gaston's song, and just the way he eats the eggs. I mean, no one would ever think to do such a thing, but man, you can tell he's all wanting Belle, and of course Belle rejects him, and he can't take it. And I can relate to that. I've been there. It's hard when someone rejects you, especially when it comes to like dating and all that. It's hard. It's hard for a guy when it comes to being rejected by a woman. It's so hard. I've been there on quite a few occasions on that. I mean, I feel for him. But then, of course, he comes up with a cynical plan. First, to have Maurice locked up in an asylum and to lock him up until Belle agrees to marry him. I mean, that's just sinister and evil right there. Why? But he's doing every measure he can to try and get to Belle, and then gets into the final showdown with the Beast and falls to his death. So, yeah, Gaston to me is number 4 on my list. Number 5. Now, this time I'm going to go live action, and that's Pirates of the Caribbean's Captain Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl. Love this villain from start to finish. I think he says some of the best lines in the film. And what he's trying to do is end the curse, but to cut down anyone who's in his path of that, including Captain Jack Sparrow, Will Turner, who actually is the one he needs to lift the curse, even though Elizabeth basically tries to say she's a Turner, even though she's not. So yeah, Captain Barbossa, you best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one. I thought that was just awesome. And the one where he's offering the apple. I mean, how can you not see that as a villain right there? I mean, very Snow White-like. So yeah, Captain Barbossa, absolutely awesome. Jeffrey Rush, just a great performance. I mean, that was the year he did 2 Disney films. He was the voice in Finding Nemo as Nigel, the pelican, and Captain Barbossa in Pirates of the Caribbean. So, well done, I mean. Absolutely. So there's top 5. Honorable mentions. Boy, I mean, you can put in there the Big Bad Wolf, Pete, Dr. Facilier, Jafar. They're all great. Ursula. I mean, the list goes on and on. So, yeah. Disney has some great villains. And let me see. Am I forgetting any? One. Nah, I think that's pretty much... Those were probably my favorite Disney villains right there. So, yeah. I mean, what I like about my honorable mentions, I mean, Jafar, he's all about basically world domination. But apparently he needs the genie to help conquer that. But yet he's a strong royal vizier, and he's got a staff he can just hypnotize those people with. So, I guess he wants more power. But as they say, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And boy, I think he regretted that in some ways, because stuck in a lamp, waiting for someone to get you out. Then once you are out, you know you can't unless someone wishes. So, yeah, there you have it. And then, of course, Captain Hook. I mean, it's just a classic Captain Hook versus Peter Pan. Man, but it's so great to see him get all freaked out when you hear a tick-tock noise. And he freaks out because he can't stand that noise because he knows that means the crocodile's coming. So, yeah. And then Big Bad Wolf is just classic. Classic Huff and Puff, blow down the house. So, yeah. And then Pete from the classic Disney shorts with Mickey, Donald, or Goofy. I mean, especially the ones with Mickey. Because he's always out to steal Minnie. Steal his girl. So, yeah. Always a lot of good battles between Mickey and Pete. I think my favorite Pete one, though, was with Donald Duck, called The New Neighbor. Donald had just moved in. And, of course, Pete's his next-door neighbor, causing havoc and all that. So, yeah, Pete just causes so much havoc for Donald. Donald finally has enough. And they get into a war. I mean, that is easily my favorite Donald Duck one. And I do like the rivalry between him and Pete in this one. Now, the Mickey Mouse one, boy, that's a tough one, because I think my favorite would probably be that Building a Building. It's an old black and white one from back in the days, but that one always cracked me up. Especially when Pete gets all mad when stuff keeps hitting him. He knows it's coming from where Mickey is. He's just chewing him out each time. And so, yeah. And of course, he ends up saving Minnie at the end. So, yeah. And some of my other favorite ones, too, is when you had the combination of Mickey, Donald, and Goofy as well. And there was one with Pete as well in that when he's trying to evict Mickey and Donald for not paying the rent and all that. But eventually it backfires because Goofy's clumsiness and all that. So it destroys the house and the furniture, and as a result, Pete has nothing to sell. So, yeah, there you have it. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, comment down below. Tell me your favorite Disney villains, too. I would love to see your list on this. So, thanks again for watching.